It's a head turner, that bike. It is very stunning looking, and you'll catch a lot of looks out on the road. I know I did. So I'm not the type of guy to go out and give my opinion about how a bike feels on a test ride. You know, I will test ride a bike for sure, but I'm not a reviewer of bikes, so to speak. So when I first got on the bike, my first impression was I'm mounting a horse. That thing was tall and wide, not light. It's a heavy bike. I'm used to lighter bikes, and that thing I was afraid. The front end is very heavy, and the bike is weighed proportionally so that to compensate for the front end heaviness, they've shifted the rider back. It's kind of like this 50-50 weight distribution, and that makes for a lot more relaxing ride, less aggressive, more of like a touring style type of bike. Because the bike is a valuable piece of modern technology, the manager had to accompany Greg and I on the ride. He was a great leader, actually. Showed us some really nice roads to test out the curves, the cornering. Felt very sturdy around corners especially. I really had no fear of losing the front end of the bike. I could feel that solid steadiness on the front end. The manager told us that it's for people who want to feel safe and sturdy, especially with that front end. Gives a lot of stability. Around corners, high speeds, it's very, very solid. For the type of rider who has maybe been away from a bike for a number of years, maybe not getting the approval of a wife to get back out on a two-wheeled bike, this bike is the perfect option for somebody who's jumping back into the motorcycle game and they want something a little more safe, a little more sturdy, and something that's less likely to tip over. But you need to be careful. It's not for somebody who's looking for a trike, because this bike will tip over. The one thing I was unsure of is its width. The Niken felt very wide, especially around corners. Unsure exactly of how far I could bring that bike to the side of the road without going off into the ditch. The manager told us this would be a great bike for tandem riding. Again, it's very stable and inspires a lot of confidence in the rider, so having an extra rider on the back, no problem there. It felt like your average sport bike, very responsive on the throttle and a lot of braking power, which was tested as an old woman darted across the street as I was riding by, and I had to test out the brakes. It was a bit of a sketchy moment, but nothing bad happened. I had ridden an MT-07 a number of months before. Throttle response was similar, and the cornering ability was also very similar. There were some things we should have asked the manager about specifically, but you can find these comprehensive reviews online somewhere, just not here. Something like the gas mileage, that would be something I would be concerned about. I would definitely ride this bike again. It's a head turner, an attention grabber, whatever you want to call it. It's a very stunning bike. It looks unlike other bikes that are out there. It does inspire confidence in the rider, and you will feel solid and stable. Having said that, I probably wouldn't choose this bike in the future. It was a little too gimmicky for me. It was a fun ride, and I would suggest to pretty much anyone to give it a shot. But it is fun. It was a blast. Good times.